Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we have another round of localizer related drama to cover. Today we have some examples of localizers continuing to do everything in their power to make themselves look unlikable. And we're also going to look at an example of a localizer supporter getting caught in 4K, like some really embarrassing, contradictory, hypocritical stuff, and you don't want to miss that. But we're going to start right here. I'm sure you have seen this screenshot at some point. This is the localization a lot of people are talking about and pointing as a shining example of a bad localization. It's the Dragon Maid localization where they have the patriarchy line. And the person who wrote that line, Jamie Marchi, she is someone who has been very involved on Twitter, arguing with people, responding to content creators criticizing her, like Asmongold, for example. And a lot of people within the industry have come to her aid to try to support her, typically other localizers and voice actors from the dub industry. And we have another example of that with Natalie Riel making this tweet, obviously alluding to her and her work, saying, "Rewatching The Devil is a Part-Timer, and I see that Jamie is a script writer for this show, keeping my eyes out for those line changes." Of course, then Jamie replies with her message, but basically they're making this tweet at the expense of people who are concerned about these localizations and that they are providing bad translations and inserting political messages and Gen Z humor and all of these things. And basically they're just laughing at the paying customers who are concerned about that. Not a very good look. But it's not just people in the industry that are continuing to make localizers look bad. It's also people who are trying to prop up their mistranslations as something that is brave and stunning and actually a good thing for the anime industry when most fans don't like it. Here's an example of someone being asked about the best dubbed moments in anime, and their example is the patriarchy line from Jamie, which is pretty crazy to me to see all of these people trying to white knight Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid when typically a lot of people are trying to find it problematic on places like Twitter. Honestly, a lot of the people that are white knighting Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid right now are antis. There are people who normally cancel others for consuming things like Lolicon and Shotokan, which there's tons of examples of that in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. If you have a problem with those things, there's no way you could watch that anime. Like, there's literally no way. But they give this example, and it's very odd that this would be your favorite moment in all of the dubbed anime history. Like, it's very strange. It's obvious people are doing this for a reason, and that's to try to own people online. But you can see some of the replies here. You can see how disingenuous these people are. It says, "Now that I have seen and heard this line that every chud within 100 miles gets angry over, it's really harmless." And then another one about the chuds here saying, "Careful, you'll traumatize the chuds again." Nobody was traumatized by that line. They just didn't like a random insertion of the patriarchy in a space where it made no sense, not only for the story and the dialogue, but also for the character delivering the line. But anyways, it's ironic someone saying something like they'll be traumatized over a line. Meanwhile, these people on Twitter are the type to have a panic attack trying to talk to the cashier at their grocery store. But the person, the OP here, says, "Does it look like I care if I piss off those chuds?" Yeah, you definitely care. You're hiding every single reply, providing any sort of criticism towards your tweets and the localization. I mean, like, why are you hiding a comment like this saying, "That's not what she said in the sub. Why can't she say what was said in the sub?" Why are you hiding that? That's literally true. We know. Even people like Jamie know that the line was changed. So why would you hide that? It's just very weird. But of course, you probably expected it. Jamie would make a little cameo in the replies to the original tweet. But also we saw this account. This is one of the goofiest accounts you'll ever see. Anytime a localizer or a voice actor in the dub industry is getting the slightest bit of criticism, this dude comes crashing in, flinging off tweets like his life depended on it. And he made the unfortunate choice of getting involved in this Dragon Maid localization controversy and pretty much stepped on a landmine based on some of their past tweets that are very, very hypocritical of their current stance. So let's see how they evolved, okay? There's going to be 3 phases of their perception of this localization drama. Starting with this one, phase 1, it never happened. He says, "Imagine having a beef with localizers/translators and wanting them to lose their jobs to AI because you have this delusional idea that they're putting agendas in your anime slash manga. Number one, this first part about wanting them to lose their jobs, it's not a correct portrayal of what people are saying. People are saying that they don't feel sorry for these people losing their jobs or being threatened by the potential of losing their jobs to AI. Nobody wants AI as the ideal solution in the situation. People just want translators to do their job properly. And if AI comes by and replaces some of these localizers who are intentionally ruining and messing with the dialogue, they don't feel sorry for them. But this last part here is saying it isn't happening. You're delusional if you think they're inserting political messages into your localizations when people like Jamie just outright admit that they do this just to make people angry. But anyways, we now reach stage 2, phase 2 of this, where it is now, well, it does happen, but they're just trolling when they do it. Here's this tweet one day later saying, these people still bashing Jamie for writing a line 7 years ago is crazy because she's literally been writing scripts for English dubs for a long time. That wasn't her first day, but these clowns don't care. They can't even tell when she's trolling them at times. Okay, the fact that you're saying she's so experienced and has all of these dubs that she's responsible for only makes people more concerned and also says she should know better than do some of the things that she's been doing with her localizations. But now we've reached stage 3, the final phase here. Now we're at the point where, yeah, it did happen. And you know what? It was a good thing. They say this. Someone's going to have to say it to these clowns. That line doesn't change anything about Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and it doesn't change the fact that this anime is funny, hilarious, cute, and one of KyoAni's best works. If one line ruins this anime for you, that's on you. Oh, so you're white knighting Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. You like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid? That's interesting. There's a lot of Shotokan and Lolicon related themes in that anime. Everyone knows that, right? But I sure hope you're not an anti. Okay, let's go through some of their tweets. So this one says, from 2022, Lolicons are some of the most disturbing MFs in the anime fandom. It's one thing to like lollies as cute characters, but some of these lolicons take it too far by sexualizing them and stuff. Also, I've been an anime fan since '95, and I'm not into lollies. You troglodyte. You troglodyte. Jarvis, pull up Kana Twister scene from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Yeah, you're a fan of this show while saying stuff like that. Don't you think that's a little bit hypocritical? Because how could you watch Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid without constantly coming into contact with lolicon and shotokan scenes? Let's continue. Another tweet from 2023 saying, sexualizing Eri from My Hero Academia should be a crime. Lolicons be posting their lolly fetish in the open and then want to get mad and try to accuse you of being a fake anime fan like you're supposed to be okay with it. No, MF, you gross. Okay? How would you feel about the person you're defending, Jamie, voicing the character Lukwa, who is a Shotokan in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid? There's like a dozen scenes of her grabbing the Shota character and shoving him into her breasts and walking around naked near him and saying sexual things to him. Do you think she's gross for voicing that character? Quite literally bringing to life this Shotokan character? Do you think there's something wrong with her? I'm sure you're going to apply the same standards to her as you would all these other anime fans that you're attacking. Well, don't use any of these defenses because you've already ruled them out for yourself. Back in 2023, you said this: every time you call lolicons on their BS, they're always like, it's just a drawing. But it's a drawing of a lolly naked, and they call her sexy. Then they come with the stupid logic of, well, you're a fake anime fan because you don't like lollies like me, which is insane. No, I guarantee that's not what people are saying. I'm sure they're saying that you shouldn't be watering down terms like pedophile to something like anime, liking anime characters. They're calling you out. They're not calling you a fake fan. But I think in this case, we can call you a fake fan. If you have these beliefs about lolicon and shotokan, how could you have actually consumed Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid without being disgusted? Because by your own standards, you would have been watching CP. Here's another one saying, have you noticed that these gatekeeper really don't like it when someone refers to lolicons as pedophiles? I mean, nothing wrong with liking lollies as the characters they play in the anime, but don't get mad when you post naked lollies and other fans give you the side eye. Okay, you're very entitled to give these people the side eye. After all, this stuff is weird, right? I think everyone recognizes that, and you have every right to think it's weird, gross, whatever. But people have a problem when you're watering down terms like pedophile to anime or fictional content, and you're watering down that term. You're making victims have an actual issue of people not believing or taking accusations seriously because people like you keep watering down pedophile to something like anime. How many times has someone been outed or allegedly outed for being a predator on places like Twitter, and people have to ask, is this about real stuff or fictional content? That's the result of tweets like this and attitudes like this. But there's another example here. It just shows their negative reading comprehension. They say, lolicon's in shambles right now. A lot of people are shocked that the age of consent in Japan was that low. It's been overdue for a change. And this was referring to the fact that in June of 2023, Japan raised the national age of consent to 13 to 16, which is a bit of a misportrayal of what's actually going on in Japan, by the way, because the prefectures all raised it above 16 on their own. This was just raising it because it made no sense to have this national requirement set when all of the prefectures raised it higher to 16 plus anyways. So again, just a mischaracterization of that issue. But of course, they think of lolicons in this situation, which makes absolutely no sense. This is about age of consent. Drawings don't consent. Why would lolicons have anything to do with this? Like I said, negative reading comprehension, which continues. I was reminded of why I recognized this profile, and it was back during October. There was a big debate. You remember the pro-ZD stuff about authentic casting. People who support authentic casting believe that you can only voice characters that match your appearance. So a black person can only voice black characters, and so on and so forth. And my stance in this tweet and in videos where I talked about it is very clear. I have a problem with authentic casting. I think it's discriminatory. I think a black person should be able to voice a black character and any character they want, because voice acting isn't about your appearance as a voice actor. It's about the quality of your voice. That's the only thing that should matter in voice acting. We shouldn't be gatekeeping and discriminating against people in that industry based on the color of their skin. Very simple message that this guy did not understand. He comes out saying black voice actors voicing black characters is limiting who exactly? Who hurts from that? See, you don't even know what you're talking about, just posting dumb stuff. A black person voicing a black character is obviously offensive to clowns who aren't affected at all. Which, like I said, negative reading comprehension. I'm just saying we shouldn't discriminate based on the color of their skin. That's all. People should be able to voice whatever colored character they want. Very simple message. But going back to the original tweet, I know we had a little sidetrack there. People were making the very obvious replies here, ratioing them, saying no one is saying it ruins the anime. They're saying they want people to do their jobs properly, but you already know that. It's like, I don't know if it's like just being disingenuous to support voice actors they like, or they truly believe this stuff. I don't know. But here's a very good summation of everything in the last tweet we're going to look at. It says, glad to see how fast we've gone from it isn't happening to if it is happening, it doesn't matter. Means next month we'll be at it's good that it's happening actually, which I think we've already reached that stage, to be honest with you. But that's going to do it for this video. Quite the adventure. We're seeing a lot of these localizers making themselves look even more unlikable, as well as their supporters who are very hypocritically supporting Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid just to own the chuds on twitter.com. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please share all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.